AskReddit by Palathine Sane. People who voted for Biden, how do you feel he is as a president? I did. Overall, I think the impacts of the few legislative accomplishments he had have been fairly wide felt. That IRA bill providing the extended child tax credit of up to $300 a month reduced the childhood poverty by nearly half. That's fucking huge, but his administration and other Democrats don't talk about it enough. That tax credit should be made permanent given the gains it had. His foreign policy has been on point. Ukraine appreciates the support. It's fucking vital. That he's had the same attorney general his entire term and I don't even know his name. Merrick Garland? The man who would be on the Supreme Court right now if Mitch McConnell hadn't decided to play dirty. As someone who was diagnosed with type 2 diabetic, thanks to the low price of insulin enacted by President Biden, now I was able to get high quality insulin for $30. My life improved, and have a better quality of life now. My daughter is a type 1 and requires multiple Humalog doses a day to stay alive. Biden isn't a superhero, but the $35 a month price tag has given me so much peace of mind about her future. I think he's acquitted himself well considering his biggest selling point in 2020 was look at the other guy. His selling point was I won't cause every other country to hate us. My favorite thing about having Joe Biden as president is that I can go weeks at a time without thinking about him. Sometimes I dream of being an executive politician as just a regular person. I think of a town hall setting where they might ask why should people vote for you always. I give some response like you'll only hear from me as scheduled. I know it's hard to imagine folks, but some weeks, I won't be in the news at all, crowd goes wild. Politicians have tried to make government work sexy, divisive, and imposing. When really, they should be updating infrastructure, reviewing budgets, and providing needed services for citizens. It's supposed to be boring and effective. All this other culture war stuff is such nonsense. At least Joe isn't out here banning books, inciting violence against other government employees, and wasting public funds boxing with Mickey. 'Tis a low bar these days. In a vacuum he's meh. I voted for him. I'm not unhappy with my decision. In a vacuum. In the real world, relative to what we had and what we could still have, Biden is fucking awesome in that scenario. Trump literally stomped on the bar I thought existed for a president. It's dust now. Obama's election was inspirational. Oh wow. Maybe anyone can be president. Trump was depressing. Oh, wow. I guess anyone can be president. That last paragraph was very well said. He's Kraft Mayo. And X200B. Is he fancy aioli? No, but he's also not Miracle Whip. Mix some sriracha with it and it's very tasty. Kamala is not sriracha. Deleted. Deleted. I'm a leftist who begrudgingly voted for him. He's much older than I think a politician should be and he's more conservative than I'd like, but I have been pleasantly surprised. Obama was of course more charismatic and a better speaker, but Biden has accomplished much more from a legislative perspective. Biden's ability to ignore the GOP name calling and focus on results is legitimately impressive. He knows those clowns only care about making a scene, so he only pays attention to them when it's necessary. But, because I forget he exists, which is what I wanted after the last campaign. I'm not even a super Trump hater. It was just annoying that every day there was some news story about him or his followers. John Mulaney described the Trump regime as a horse loose in a hospital, and it was an excellent metaphor. It's not like everything the horse does is bad, but you can never relax, because you don't know when the horse is going to start charging at the maternity ward with mad stomping intent. And call me crazy, but the very last thing I need giving me anxiety like that is a fucking president of the country I have to live in. He's fine. He's not been everything I'd hoped, but he's been fine. I prefer my presidents to have their head down and do the job, and Biden seems to be doing it well enough. He wasn't my first choice, shit, he wasn't my fourth or fifth choice, but when you look at the alternative, I'll take this all day every day. He hasn't been everything I hoped for, but he's been more than I expected. Dart. I'll vote for him again. I like boring competence. I like it when people just do their job. I love Calvin Coolidge for that. Joe Biden's no Cal, but I appreciate that I'm not constantly hearing about what a jackass the president's being on Twitter. I'm not American, but I find it funny how the biggest criticism against him is that he's boring. Boring is literally what I want from the people who run the country. A while back, I watched a Kennedy-Nixon debate on YouTube. It's amazing how things have changed. They answered the questions they were asked. If one agreed with the other about something, they'd say so. There were even times when one made his point and yielded his remaining time back because he had nothing more to say. There was no razzle-dazzle, no name-calling, heck, they didn't even attack each other, only their ideas. It was incredibly boring, and I would give just about anything for American politics to be boring like that again. He knows Putin is not our friend. He hates bullies. He is for all Americans, giving emergency funds to Republican states without trying to extort something. Okay then. Republicans have used the excuse, well, Russia wouldn't have invaded Ukraine if Trump were still president. He would have kept him in check cause they're friends. Like, WTF are these people thinking? They actually want a US president to be allies with the dictator. That's how fractured the US is right now. A third of the country strongly believes this. Would it be nice if was a transition president? Someone that could assist realign the ship, and then hand off command to someone a bit younger. But unfortunately no one on the left really wants to oppose him, and the right is just looking to out-extreme each other. He doesn't tweet like an angry tween. He doesn't tweet. You could have stopped there. He's a tan pants of politics. He does the job, but he's got no flash. Biden 2024. Make politics boring again. Tan pants of politics boring but fine, yet Fox will still spend every minute trying to convince you it's a sign of utter collapse and the impending apocalypse. I like going to bed not worried I will wake up to a tweet that might start a war. He's slow and looks lost 99% of the time. But with him in the White House there has been a ton of legislative wins on his watch. He's bad at being a figurehead, but things are getting done. And it mostly impressive given the makeup of Congress at the moment. So I think he's done more than expected, and people attacking his age or stammers care less about what he does for this country and more about how he looks in front of a camera. Better than Trump. Recently I've been enjoying Republicans foaming at the mouth at anything he does. Apparently he wore shoes without socks. The horror. He's apparently both sleepy and a mastermind cokehead at the same time. After 4 years of Trump I have no patience for Republican nonsense. Because it's not about the children or family values, it's about control and bigotry. I love how he has dementia while being the king of an international crime syndicate. I voted for him because he wasn't Donnie Trump. But I'm ready for someone who's maybe 40 years younger come 2024. Gotta hope for 28, friend. We aren't getting anyone better, and the competition is absolutely unthinkable. You're awesome blind brainwashed sheep. What country are you living in? I'm pleased with him. I'm also evaluating him through the lens of reality and realize razor thin margin in the Senate and a minority in the House doesn't allow him to do all he would want to do. That being said, I'm 100% voting for him again. With that razor thin margo he passed the most important infrastructure bill America's seen since the New Deal. I came in saying at least he's not Trump. I came out saying actually he's the best president we've had in a while. Do I wish he was younger? Yes, but he's proven me wrong. I no longer wake up and wonder what fresh international humiliation the president has heaped upon the country at 3 AM. Even if Biden weren't doing a decent job by conventional standards and an FDR caliber job by the standards of 2016 to 2020, I'm pretty pleased with that. Deleted.